Now, to reiterate your understanding of parallelogram method, I'm going to show you another example. So now I have two forces which are not acting perpendicularly but at an angle of 45 degrees to one another. One is 4 Newton and the other is 6 Newton. So I'm going to work from scratch so that you can really see how I work out an answer for such questions. Okay, so I'm going to begin now. Again, step 1, I set the scale. One cm represent 1 Newton for this case. Now, step 2, I'm going to represent all the forces using arrows. So again, I draw a dot to represent the body, and as the question say just now, I have a 4 Newton and a 6 Newton force. So I'm going to draw the 6 Newton force first. 6 cm on the ruler, represented by an arrow, label 6 Newton. Now, the angle shown in the question just now was 45 degrees, so I'm going to use a protractor again to measure 45 degrees. And then the other force is 4 Newton. Okay, so I finished step 2. Remember to label all the angle and the forces. Okay, so now I'm going to step 3, which is to complete the parallelogram. As I've told you before, you can make use of your protractor and your ruler to transpose. So in this case, align the ruler with this 4 Newton one which I'm transposing. Okay, and then put another straight ruler or protractor to this, and you can easily transpose this over and measure another. Okay, sorry. You have to be pretty accurate in this thing to get a good result. Okay, so going to measure 4 cm. Remember, this is going to be dotted line, so dotted lines. And you have done this correctly. Here you should have a 96 cm as shown in my ruler using a dotted line. Alright, and then step 4, I'm just going to draw the resultant force, which is from my body to the other end of the parallelogram, representing with a double arrow. And again, I'm done. Now I'm going to write my answer. So I'm going to measure the magnitude of the force, which is 9.2 cm. So my resultant force is going to be 9.2 Newton. Now for direction, again I've mentioned before, I can easily take this angle or take the other angle. So to help you understand, just now I took this angle for the previous example, so I'm going to take this angle now. So similarly, I use my protractor. And the angle is 26 degrees. So resultant force is 26 degrees from 4 Newton force. That's it. That's how you work out a parallelogram method. Do take note certain things that common mistake that students make. The arrows here have to be solid lines with a single arrow, label, and then complete the parallelogram using dotted lines. And finally, for the resultant force, a solid line with double arrow. That's all for parallelogram method.